Hi guys, so this is Miss Sage and today I am a student and I'm going to show you how our Google Classroom works. So the first thing you want to do is you log into your Google Classroom. Each of your classes will be one of these little badges that goes across the screen. Right now I just have one as a student, so I'm going to click on it and open it up. Now, over here, the three lines, this is your main menu. So notice that I can go to my to-do list. I can go to the different classes that are here. I can look at archived classes, and I can go to the settings. I want you to come on down to the settings with me. So notice there's some settings in here that are going to matter to you. Notifications. Many of you get emails every time a teacher in any of your classes posts any kind of work at all. Usually this is annoying to students. So what I recommend is you do want some emails. Don't turn them all off. But what you can do is go through and look at what you are getting emails for. So comments on your posts. This would send you an email whenever someone comments on a post that you made in Google Classroom. Comments that mention you. That's up to you. I personally would never want those emails. Private comments on work. That one you really do need. And the reason is because your teacher is going to make comments on your work. This will send you an email that comes back and says something like, hey, you forgot question 6. You need to go back and take another look at that. Things like that, so that you understand what's going on. You definitely want comments, private comments on your work. Classes you're enrolled in, work and other posts from teachers, turn that off. That means that when teachers post things, you will not get emails anymore. Which is generally what you want because you're going to see those things when you go to your Google Classroom anyway. You don't need an extra email. Returned work on grades from your teachers. When your teacher grades something and they return it to you digitally and send it back to you, I, as a student, want those emails because it tells me that that has been graded. Invitations to join classes, I want those emails. Due date reminders, that's kind of going to be up to you. If you want them, great. If you don't, turn them off. Now that we're done looking at the settings, let's go on over to our class. Notice there's a header here. This is called the stream. The stream is announcements that your teacher makes. In this class, notice that there's one announcement. It's a roadmap showing how Unit 0 is going to work. Unit 0 is like an introductory unit. Now, if I want to go do work, I click over and go to Classwork. Notice all the classwork for the entire unit is here. And I had to hit view more because there's so many things. All my units are also listed over here and I can click on them and just see the things for that unit as well. But right now we're in Unit 0. I like looking at it as all topics because everything's condensed that way. It doesn't take up my whole screen. So if I want to see this first lesson, I would click on View Instructions and notice it gives me a whole nice page. I can't skip over these instructions. I must read them because as a student, my teacher is not going to be standing up front at the front of the classroom reading the directions to me. I'm going to need to get into the habit of reading them for myself. Now it tells me what to do. I can go over here and click on the link and go watch the Edpuzzle. I can also add a comment to my teacher over here, but if I had a question about the assignment, I could post it there as a private comment and it would send my teacher an email. So notice this has a tree on it and it is a must-do assignment. If I go back to classwork here, you'll notice that there's other symbols like this one has this little caterpillar on it. This is a should-do assignment because we're doing things for ecology. My teacher has done all must-do assignments have a little tree because trees are producers and they must be present in an ecosystem for that ecosystem to work. Then primary consumers, things that eat plants like caterpillars, those would be should do assignments. And finally, you'll notice that there's an aspire to do down here. This is a cheetah, both because students who get to the aspire to do's are probably moving pretty quick, and cheetahs are like top primary or top tertiary consumers. They eat other animals. So that's how those little symbols work. You'll also see that mastery checks have their own category and they come with little mushrooms. Why? Because mushrooms are decomposers and they sort of keep the whole cycle going. That's what the mastery checks do. So what I'm going to do is the must do assignments, I do them in order. So I do 1.1 and 1.2. Should do assignments I can do, or if I'm behind pace, I can move on to the next must-do assignment if I need to. But I can't move on from lesson 1 until I do this mastery check. And it tells me right here what to do, that I do a self-assessment first, and so on. So notice all of these have directions that I have to read before I go open up the document. I can't just randomly click on documents. I have to actually start reading all of these directions to make sure I understand what to do. Otherwise, I'm going to spend a whole lot of time being lost or doing the wrong thing. So all the assignments are labeled must do, should do, or aspire to do. There's little labels on the side for me at the end. Notice that the unit test has a little flower on it. That unit test, because obviously that would be the end of the series. Now, you can turn in as a student, I can turn in all of these assignments for full credit up until the test. Once we get to the test, then I can't turn any of these in anymore. So I hope this kind of helped you to see how Google Classroom is set up to make everything a little easier for you to get all the things that you need.